Hello all, again. I thought I'd do something a little bit less stressful than yesterday. I don't know if you've seen the video, but it was getting the K1 running, the BMW K1, the barn find. So yeah, long story short, it's running. If you haven't seen that video, I've gone out there today, starts on the button and runs like an absolute dream, which is really, really good news. Really pleased with that. So yeah, I'm gonna get it MOT, take it for a run. So yeah, went out into the van earlier on because I haven't used it in ages. It's more of a sort of a pleasure thing to have the van more than anything. I don't tend to use it that much, but yeah, it went for an MOT, and yeah, one of the brake pipes totally corroded, so a real pain. So I'm gonna have to change the brake pipe this weekend. It's just a crap job. It goes under the chassis leg. It just goes all the way back into the bulkhead and then back into the reservoir. So I've ordered a new brake pipe. I've got the bender and stuff here, so I'll make a pipe up and fit that over the weekend. Dreading the job because the weather's crap all week for the rest of the weekend as well. So today I went and bought a new old can up there, as you can see, to go with all the rest of, as the good lady would call it, old crap. As you can see, the single seat unit there for the K1, which I'll fit as well. So yeah, all I've been doing today really is sorting those bits out, and yeah, just looking online. So I thought I'd just share with you a few bikes I've seen online at the minute. Here's a few of them. So let me have a look. Hold the line caller. So the first one I've seen, I absolutely love these bikes. It's a Kawasaki ZXR 750 K1 1991. So this is the one with the flat side carbs, aluminium tank, and the single seat unit. So it's like a homologation special, so that's to make X amount so they can go racing. It's a UK bike. It's done 36,000 miles. I mean, for the age, I mean, at least it's been used, but currently running rough, needs looking at. Hasn't been used the last 3 years, so it probably needs a good carb clean, I would have thought. It's just an interesting bike. It's, yeah, I think for £6,500, it's, you know, not bad value. I remember 18 months ago or so that a good running one of these were going for around about the 10 mark. So, because they did the M version of this as well, the later version. So I've always liked these, but they are considerably more expensive than a J1 or something like that. So you'll have to sort of, yeah, choose if you feel that's a good value or not. I happen to think it is because it's a little bit special, so something to look out for anyway. Not many people tend to know too much about them, but I've always quite liked them, so one to look at. The next one as well, which is a bit of an oddball. It's not a bike I have any interest in, to be honest, but I thought I'd share with you just due to the price. It's the KTM 790 Duke. It's brand new, pre-registered, on a 24 plate, 0 miles. For £4,995, so that's a saving. It says here £3,004 because of all the all the emissions thing for bikes coming in. So yeah, all these dealers had to pre-register these bikes, otherwise they couldn't do anything with them due to the Euro emissions, Euro 5 stuff. So yeah, they've been sorting that out. So they've all been throwing their bikes online, pre-registered, just to get rid of them. So if you want a brand new bike, £5,000, 790 KTM, 3 years warranty. I know obviously KTM is a bit of a long shot at the moment due to what's going on within the company, and you know everyone's going to say camshaft issues, but it comes with a warranty. It's £5,000. I mean, it's a hell of a lot of bike for £5,000. So not something I've got any interest in, to be honest. But I thought I'd share with you just because of the price, really, more than anything. The next one is a bike that I really like, and one that I was going to do a video about, actually, well, two of them. It's the Honda SP1 and the SP2. All these bikes I'm showing you now are available for sale. You can go and buy them today, so I'm not just showing you any stuff I found, you know, months before or where I think the market's going. This is a bike you can go and buy now, and £4,200 in Bromley, which is very close to me, is pretty good value, to be honest. I think it's done about 30 or 1,000 miles, which you find these with SP1s, and SP2s. You just tend to find them with a bit of mileage on them, which is good. You know, you always seem to see them around the sort of 30,000 miles, or they've either got 18,000 or 30,000 miles, and then now and again you see them with 7,000 miles and all that. But this one, as you can see, it's toyed with a bit. Those front indicators are a bit crap. Someone's put a suede seat on. That's seen better days. So yeah, for the money, 4.2, you're never going to lose any money on it at that, as long as it all runs well and there's no problems. I just think they're great bikes and they're going to go through the roof. I mean, the SP2 already has started to go through the roof, and the SP1 is quickly behind. But yeah, a white SP2 with all the Colin Edwards graphics, not on the bike but with the bike, it's always a nice thing to have. So yeah, I'd always make sure if I was buying an SP2, it was a white one, low mileage, with the Colin Edwards decals, all the Honda good stuff to go with it. So yeah, SP1 4,200. It'll take £4,000. I mean, I think we can probably safely say that. Maybe a little bit less. The market is really funny at the moment. So yeah, an interesting one. Here's another one for £4,500. A Ducati 1098 come up on eBay earlier on. It's a little bit leggy in the miles. It's done 27,000 miles. But it's just been serviced, had all the belts done, so that's one job you don't need to do. Which, that's, if you've ever sold a Ducati, that's the first thing you'll ever be asked by anyone. Has the belt's been done? So it's always nice that the belt's been done. It's got the dry clutch, it's got the Termi exhausts, and the standard exhaust as well. It's in excellent condition. It's nice. It's got a few miles on. Sometimes you find with bikes that haven't been used that are super low miles tend to give you more ag than bikes with a few miles on them. So for £4,500, I mean, I don't think you're going to look. I don't think you're going to look ridiculous at four. Well, I mean, as I say, the way the market is, could be a £4,000 bike you might take, but I don't think that's going to hang around long. I think that'll be gone by the weekend. So yeah, it's on for sale on eBay now. It only come on for sale about half an hour, 45 minutes ago. I mean, I didn't spend hours putting this list together. I just had a quick look around at my usual haunts to see what was for sale. So I thought I'd give you a quick video just to show you. Another one which isn't bad value actually is a Ducati Sport Classic GT1000, the Cafe Racer. These weren't massively successful when they came out, which is always a good sign for a bike that's going to make good money later on. Because if they don't really sell many, there isn't really many to then buy later on. So this is quite a nice one. Again, crap pictures. It's been taken in the dark. I mean, if you're going to sell your bike, eBay, as this guy's on eBay give you now about 24 pictures. So use all 24 pictures. It's probably the best thing. Taking a picture of the bike in the dark probably isn't the ideal way of trying to sell it. So yeah, I like those. Just for the style really, more than anything. There's nothing particularly special about it. But they hold their money well, and for £9,000 I've seen them go for quite a bit more than that. So for 8,995 I don't think it's too bad. Another brand which has me a little bit conflicted actually is Moto Guzzi. It's a brand I really like, but there's very few bikes I tend to like from Moto Guzzi actually. So there's this one, the Stornello, which is one of 1,000. This is a one owner bike. It's only done 260 odd miles, 258 miles, 6,995. It's in lovely condition by the looks of it, which it should be, to be fair. It's just, I don't know. It's just something about it I like, and yeah, I find it very difficult with Guzzis to find actual ones I like. But I love the brand, so it's has me a bit conflicted, that one actually, the Guzzi brand. But it's one I really like. But yeah, if anyone has owned a Guzzi, put it in the comments on what you had and what sort of experience you had, because I do quite fancy having one. I've sold a few over the time, but I've never actually really sort of had one for myself. So yeah, let us know in the comments. This one was number 92 out of 1,000, so quite early in the production run. This one as well, a bike that I find quite interesting as well, is which isn't really, so most won't find it, but it's the CRF 1000 Africa Twin. It come on for sale from a dealer, 4,595, sensible miles. I think it's done about 24,000 miles. It's, I think, to be fair, for the money, it's incredibly cheap, and it's a DCT. So it's the automatic. I've never actually ridden a DCT bike. I've always fancied doing it. I know the diehards out there will say, no way would I ever have a DCT bike. It's got to be a full-on manual. But I was watching Baron von Grumble's video on the new BMW Adventure the other day, and obviously BMW have gone down the route where you can option an automatic variant. And yeah, I mean, he's a diehard, biker, and he likes to do his track days and stuff like that. But he was raving about it, so it's something I've been thinking about for a while. I quite fancy doing a trip. So I do a trip once a year to France, and I quite fancy doing it on a DCT bike just to see what the fuss is about and see if I would like it. So 4595. It's one you could take green lane as well, and for that sort of money, you're not going to worry too much if you do drop it. It's got the protection guards on the side. It looks a fairly standard bike. So yeah, for that sort of money, it's got all it's got the rear top box carrier mount. Yeah, for that sort of money, I don't think you can complain. I don't think you're going to get much off it. He's a dealer, so maybe you can't retail it for whatever reason, but I think that's good value. Next one is a bike. I've always had a thing for these, and that's the Aprilia RS 250. This one's a Mark 1 Chesterfield version, which seems to be seems to be the more popular, I'd say. I mean, I'm more of a Mark 2 fan. I love the Mark 2. When I was 17, I had an RS 125, which, to be honest, is very different. They look very, very similar, but they're not. The RS 125 has a Rotex engine. This is basically a Suzuki RGV based RS 250. So yeah, it's a very different bike from the RS 125. They look very similar, but they're not. Yeah, so as I say, it's the Aprilia RS 250, basically the RGV engine, swing arm, banana swing arm, and all that sort of stuff. So it was a GP bike basically for the road, and I love them. It's a two-stroke. I mean, I love two-strokes. I think the market for two-strokes at the moment is a bit of a funny one, but we'll go into that in a bit. So yeah, RS 250, great bike. Mark 2 for me, £6,500 for this one, 19,000 kilometres, so it's done about 10,000 miles. It's a nice bike, so yeah, a bike I like a lot. This is a funny one. The next one, Suzuki Bandit GSF 600, new old stock. So he's wanting just under £10,000 for this. I mean, I'd understand it more if it was a 1200, a Mark 1 1200. I'd understand it then. It's crated. As soon as you take it out the crate, as soon as you put any miles on it, it becomes a £3.5–4 grand bike. You know, that's with very, very, very low miles on. You stick 10,000 miles on, you know, you're lucky, then it's probably a £2,500 bike. It's a strange one. It's not one I see particularly going up in value either. It's not a bike I think, that's one you want to keep in your garage, and you know, in a few years and then bring it out again. It's not, to be honest, but I found it kind of interesting that it was brand new old stock. This bike I'm kind of in love with, and you'll all think I'm probably mad. It's 1976 Honda CB350, but it's got like an aeroplane body around it. I mean, I had seen something like this years ago, and it always got me rather interested. The write-up is dreadful. It's in France. It's €11,600. It's done 14,600 miles. I doubt it's done 14,500 miles in that, guys. I'm sure it's done 14,500 miles as a motorbike and then been converted to this. But I'd love to see it running and riding. So an interesting bike. Again, all these bikes you can go and buy today. So an interesting one. Next on my list is a Buell XB12 SS. SS is the long version. I've had many Buell XB12s. I've had the S, which is the shorter version, the SS, which is the long version. I've ridden a couple of XB9s that I've had in. I just love them. They ride so well when they're running well, that is. That's the key with them. It's a Harley Sportster engine. They've got so much slow down torque. It's a lot of fun just to have around town. It really is a good fun sort of Street Fighter-esque bike. So one to watch. The prices have been here, there and everywhere with them at the moment. This one's on for $5,250. It's got about 22,000 miles. To be honest, I've seen with 5,000–6,000 miles not making that sort of money at the moment. So I probably wouldn't be going for this one. I'll be waiting for a low mileage one, or I'll be going on the Buell forums and asking what's about and what's soon to come up for sale, because there's a few deals to be had on these Buells, and they will eventually go up in value. As I say, they were starting to go up, they were peaking, and then they dropped again. So yeah, anything Buell isn't sort of doing incredibly well, but it brings me on to sort of Street Fighter-esque bikes. This bike, GSXR 1100, which has been, I really like Street Fighters. It's a certain type. I'm not sort of liking the knuckle dusters and all that sort of stuff on them, but I do like a bike that, I think most people think a Street Fighter is a sports bike that's been in an accident. It's had a single headlight put on, set of Renthal bars, and jobs are good. But no, this has been done really well. This has won a few prizes. It's a great looking bike. It's as I say, it's the swing arm looks fantastic. Everything on it looks like it's been well done. It's won a few prizes, as I say. One being given by Guy Martin here. It says under seat exhaust. Love the caliper on that. It's been done well. It's up to £3,000 at the moment. That really is. I think it's the best thing he could have done is probably put it on an auction, because that's a real difficult bike to price. Someone like me will really like it, but they'll also think, well, for this sort of money, I can have this, I can have that. So to say it's a niche is an understatement. But I think we'll just list a few bikes that are on for sale today that you can see that you can just go and buy today. Not, my idea of what you should buy or whatever, but things that you can go. I mean, I will do other videos about sort of forgotten bikes that are really good bikes, some classic bikes and just the market in general for two-strokes and stuff, as we did touch on it a little bit about the RS250, but yeah, it's a strange market for two-strokes at the moment, especially the old sort of stuff like this. I think the people who used to have them before, in the region in the 60s, 70s, and even in the 80s, are now sort of getting a bit past the time of wanting to have two strokes. There are most people who have still got them are of that sort of age, but a lot of people aren't using them so much now, and I'm starting to see the market sort of, dip quite a bit actually. So whereas everyone's you buy two strokes, money in the bank, I think the market's going to change on that. But I'm going to do another video on that. It might upset a few people, especially if they own a lot of two strokes, but I think the market's a bit different to even how it was a year ago, to be honest. So we'll touch on that. The next video I'll probably do another market update, a few sort of bargains I see about, other sort of bargains, because people tend to like these sort of videos on what they can buy for their money. So it's quite an interesting time at the moment. So I'll also do another update on the K1, actually, the BMW running. It's running like an absolute dream, as I said. So what we'll do is we'll do a road test of that, so you can come with me on that. We'll give it a road test, we'll take it for an MOT. Everything works on it. There's not one issue with it, considering it hasn't been out of a barn for 20 plus years. Every light works on it. I'm going to service it. I'm going to change the oil and filter tomorrow, after I've sorted the van. So an interesting weekend for me. So if you could like and subscribe, guys, it would really help me out. Look forward to doing the next video.